Hey guys, welcome back to the Cocco channel and to another yearly favorites video. I can't believe it, but 2016 is over and this is my first video back since taking a break from Vlogmas and everything, and I'm sick. So that's that sexy voice that you hear. I'm also trying a little different angle with my camera of having it up. Let me know what you guys think about that. But other than that, let's go ahead and get started. I have a ton of stuff. I wouldn't say a ton. I really went through my collection and I was like, what did I get this year that like really, you know what I mean, I reached for over and over again. Like what made a difference in my life as far as makeup goes. I know that sounds really dramatic, but I have some things that are like more beauty as well, but you guys get the gist. Let's go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and start with some stuff that I put on my face. The first thing is the Makeup Forever Step 1 Skin Equalizer. This is the smoothing primer. You guys, if you have pores, enlarged pores, everyone has pores. If you have like enlarged pores like I do, especially like in this little area right here, this thing, I've never found a primer that fills in pores like this. This stuff is really pricey, but it is so worth it to get that smooth, you know what I mean, like flawless, not flawless, I'm not, you know what I mean, just like it gives you just such a smooth surface to start with, and I will never be without this. I know that sounds crazy because it is so pricey, but it's so worth it because of the finish you get. Next up is another primer that I want to talk about. This changed my life for makeup because you guys have heard me say this so many times, but for years and years and years, I was a Too Faced shadow insurance girl. It was the only thing that I found worked for my lids because I do have semi-hooded lids, you know, that didn't have stuff transfer and yada yada. I had a big problem, not necessarily with like with eyeshadow creasing or anything, but I would always get eyeliner transferred up to my lid, and for the longest time shadow insurance was the only thing that helped, but it has been replaced with the Smashbox 24-hour photo finish shadow primer. This stuff is amazing. I feel like this does what shadow insurance does, but even more, and like on a like higher level, if that makes sense. Like it makes your eyeshadows more vivid, and you know what I mean, makes your eyeshadow last a really long time, plus you get like the benefits of like no creasing and stuff like that. So this stuff changed my makeup game this year for sure. Again this year, I'm pretty sure this was in last year's too, but I can't help it, and I love that it's drugstore and it's affordable for everyone. This is the Instant Age Rewind Eraser Dark Circle Treatment Concealer from Maybelline. This erases everything, you guys. You know that not only do I get the super sexy mom dark circles under here that also go up into my eyelid, I also suffer with redness galore. It's not even rosacea or, you know what I mean, like anything like that. I think it's just hormones and stuff, plus the fact that I'm a very fair gal and have that Irish, you know, heritage of, you know, the redness, and so I get it all around my nose, it's all on my cheeks, and this covers up everything. I do not a full layer of it under my foundation, but you know, I do go under my eyes and on my eyelids and around my nose. Pretty much all of my nose is like, I look like Rudolph when I wake up in the morning. So this just erases everything. It gives you such a nice platform to start with to build up your foundation, so that way you're not doing too much. I feel like, you know what I mean, sometimes going in, I do have like the green corrector from Urban Decay, the you know, this Naked Skin corrector, the green one. I feel like when I go in with the green and then a concealer and then a foundation, plus you're putting powder on top of that, plus you're putting, you know, your highlight, your contour and everything like that, it just gets too cakey, and this prevents so many of those steps without looking too nasty, you know what I mean? So I absolutely love this. 2 years running now, this has been my favorite concealer. It's from the drugstore, super affordable, loves it. Okay, so for foundation this year, my absolute favorite is another drugstore. Forgive me because it is so nasty looking. Look at this lid. This is the Covergirl Outlast Stay Fabulous 3-in-1 foundation. Plus it has a sunscreen of SPF 20, which isn't as high as I would personally like, but I do other things to get my SPF up. And I am in the color 810, which I'm pretty sure is, yeah, Classic Ivory. So it has the lasting power of a primer, coverage of a concealer, and blendability of a foundation in one, and shine free. So it is a semi-matte finish. I wouldn't say it's completely matte because you don't get that like dead look, you know what I mean? For me, because I already have dry skin, like I wouldn't go for a matte, foundation personally. This is such a great foundation. I feel like it gives you a medium to full coverage. You can definitely build this up. You could do 2 or 3 layers if you maybe have more problematic skin than I do. This is very affordable. It's under $10 at the drugstore. And I also just went to Walmart with my mother-in-law while we were in Las Vegas, and she always asks me like, how do you get such, you know, even skin tone and everything like that. She's like, I want that flawless look. So her and I went up and down the makeup aisle and I showed her what I use, and I picked this out, and it has such a nice range of shades from very, very light also to quite deep, and everything in between. So that's another really nice thing about this foundation that I love, that is helpful for you guys as well. So this has definitely been my go-to. You guys can look in any description box, and 9 times out of 10 it is this one. I've tried so many foundations, you guys know, and my whole thing is that I'm not going to spend money on it and just keep it in my drawer. I always return it. I've tried stick foundations and they're almost too creamy and just like they make my face look way too cakey. I've tried tons of other liquid ones that are really, really high-end and expensive, and this one takes the cake over all of them. I absolutely love this foundation. The bronzer that blew me away this year that I absolutely fell in love with, and I wish I would have gotten it years ago, is definitely the Benefit Hoola bronzer. I don't know what it is about this bronzer, but it is like the absolute perfect tone for my skin tone, because it has like a little bit of redness almost to it, which I know sounds really crazy, but I feel like when you're fair, having like just that little bit of gray reddish, it just, I don't know, it's perfect for your skin tone, and it lasts all day. I don't know, it just goes on so smoothly. It's not streaky, it doesn't look cakey, it's just the absolute perfect color again. Like, I don't know what it is, it's just perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And I feel like this goes quite well with a lot of skin tones. I absolutely love this bronzer, and I really do wish I would have bought it years ago. It's so good. Now, the blush that I feel like just totally knocked my socks off, that I found myself reaching for over and over and over again, is another drugstore brand. I'm so excited about that. You guys that have been on my channel for a while know I don't buy a lot of drugstore typically, which is in my New Year's resolution to get more into. So anyways, the blush that absolutely knocked my socks off this year is definitely the Milani Rose Blush. This is in 01 Romantic Rose, and I am wearing it today. It's just so perfect. It really is. It's that dusty pink that is like so popular this year. It's not too bright. It's not, you know what I mean, too dark. It can go with everyone's skin tone. I definitely think that it would go with everyone's skin tone. It's just so beautiful. It's so affordable, and it lasts forever. I got this, I want to say at the beginning of the year, and I barely like made a dent in the, you know what I mean, like the overlay. Is that an overlay? It's not an overlay. In the pattern, I guess you could say. And it's just wonderful. It lasts all day. They have a nice variety of colors. If maybe the kind of mauvey colors aren't your cup of tea, they do have like more peachies or more pinks, you know what I mean? So the Milani blushes, the rose ones, are just absolutely beautiful. Okay, so now comes for highlighters. If you have been on my channel for a while, you know that this was probably the hardest thing for me to pick. I buy from drugstore, I buy from a lot of luxury, like high expensive luxury, to like more like Sephora Ulta luxury, you know what I mean? And I buy a lot from independent companies, but the one that stood out to me the most, and this is probably going to be like, what? Is definitely Proseco Pop from Becca, which is this is one of the split pans. I also have the palette that has, you know, Champagne Pop and Prosecco Pop, but I'm pretty sure Champagne Pop was it for me last year, because I remember being so excited and like waiting for it to launch with Missy, and her and I bought it. I was actually on vacation here at my parents' house. Like, I remember that so vividly. And it was the same with me for Prosecco Pop. I did, you know, the palette, I did the eye palette. Even when everyone else returned it, I didn't. I kept mine. That's just personal preference, but as far as the highlighter goes, I feel like nothing compares to Becca formula, especially on my skin. There are so many highlighters that I absolutely love, but they just don't last throughout the day. And Becca, I can safely say Becca and Anastasia highlighters are the ones that last on my skin the most. And this was just such a unique color, and I'm just so happy that I have a Proseco Pop split pan with my favorite blush that came out of that collection, which was definitely the Amaretto, which is this one right here. That's definitely my favorite blush out of the collection, because again, I like the kind of deeper ones. But again, just back to Proseco Pop, there's just nothing like it, I don't feel like, and it just lasts all day. And I find myself reaching for this one. That's exactly why I got the split pan, is because my palettes are in a different section, and I just find myself reaching for this one a lot more and doing like the 1-2 and just being good to go. So definitely Proseco Pop wins it for me this year as far as a single highlighter. However, I did pick out a highlighter palette that just absolutely blew me out of the water, and I definitely want to share that with you, and that is none other than the Anastasia Beverly Hills Moonchild palette. You know, up until a couple weeks ago, you could say that there's nothing else out there like it. However, Kat Von D did come out with the Alchemist, which has the similar colors as far as the blue, green, pink, and purple, but I still feel like the Anastasia is not only a better deal because you get the bigger pans for just a couple more dollars. It's almost twice the size of the Alchemist pans, and there's just something about the Anastasia quality of her powders that you just can't beat, in my opinion. So there are those two. This is Lucky Clover, which is one of my favorites, and then which other one this is Blue Ice. So I just absolutely love this one, and I reach for it a lot, actually. Even on a day, you know what I mean, where I'm not feeling like super crazy with the blues and the greens, you know what I mean. They do have the pink heart in there, which I absolutely love, which is this one. It's just such an amazing palette. I highly recommend it if you haven't gotten it already. This definitely stood out to me this year. I absolutely love highlighters. Highlighters, and as far as any other makeup category, is like my thing. That's the thing I collect. That's the thing I like research and covet, you know what I mean. I have all the way up from like Chanel and Dior all the way down to Wet n Wild, you know what I mean. I just collect them all. I absolutely love them, and this one definitely stood out to me the most. Alright, I have another face palette that I want to talk to you guys about, which may surprise some of you, but I don't know. I've only had it for, I want to say like 2 months now, but I just absolutely love it, and I really wish that I would have been getting the past series of these, and that is the Hourglass. This is the Ambient Lighting Edit Surreal Light palette, which came out for this year's Christmas collection. This was my first Hourglass product that I've ever gotten, and it was just so, I don't know, I feel like it's a big deal in every girl's life when they get like that first, you know what I mean, like higher end item, and this definitely was like a groundbreaking moment for me personally. Some people may not care about that kind of stuff, but I just use this so much. I absolutely love the two blushes. The bronzer is really, really great. The highlighter is amazing. The finishing powder like just does something. There's something so elegant and classy about Hourglass's powders that I can forgive like the cheap plastic because of the price tag, you know what I mean? I don't know what it is about Hourglass products, but they just like make your face so much better sometimes. You know what I mean? I don't know how to explain it. I don't think everyone has to have these, you know what I mean, which is what I said in that Worth It Wednesday, but I'm just really glad that I have it and I use it so much, and that's why it made it into this year's video. It's just something on another level for me. I absolutely love it. I'm like totally starting to lose my voice. Okay, let's talk about single shadow. This I did, I'm pretty sure I got this year, or I may have gotten it last year, but it's still my single favorite single eyeshadow of all time is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Buon Fresco. I can't even tell you how much I love this shadow. I reach for this shadow so often and literally just run it through my crease and pop on an inner corner highlighter, and I could do no, you know, eyeliner, or I could do just mascara. And it just does something. It's a perfect cool tone color, which is what I gravitate towards. I'm definitely a cool tone girl. That's just what I prefer over warm tones, and this shadow just does something. I don't know what it is, but I absolutely love it. I cannot live without this one. I have it in here, and it is also in the Modern Renaissance palette, which I'm so thankful for, and so I won't run out of it anytime soon, but absolute favorite single shadow of all time. Favorite eyeshadow palette. This also has like a really good memory with it. I think, was it this one that it was me and Missy. So I don't think it was this year. It might have been last year. But it still is my favorite palette that I used this year. Missy and I stayed up and got this off of HSN, and we totally regretted it because the shipping took forever, but it was just still a really nice, like, bonding, not bonding, but you know what I mean, like a cool experience for Missy and I, and like a good memory staying up and waiting for this. And this is the Too Faced Bon Bon palette, and it is another cool tone palette, which you guys, I already told you, is my cup of tea. I know it's not for everyone, but I wear this palette so often, and it is what's on my eyes today as well. And I just love it. I don't know why. Well, I just told you why, because it's cool tone. Not only is it cool tone, but it has some of my favorite colors in there. Number one being this big Mamba Jamma right here, which is called Satin Sheets. This is also in my other favorite palette of all time that I've mentioned to you guys so often, is the Too Faced Boudoir Eyes palette, which is another cool tone palette. But this is hands down my favorite highlighting for inner corner or brow bone of all time. Again, that's Satin Sheets. It's just amazing. And the matte shades in here for like transition and, you know what I mean, like outer corner. These are my favorite three right here. Almond Truffle, Cashew Choo, and Pecan Praline. Pecan, however you want to say it. People make fun of me because I say pecan. And everyone else says pecan. Pecan. So anyways, these three colors right here are just everything in that palette for me. That's typically what I wear on my eyes, and I'll mix them up and like put them in different places, but it's generally the same colors that I put on there. Or I'll toss like something, you know what I mean, a little bit deeper in my corner. Or I love this pink color and Earl Grey. I did a tutorial using, I think, just Earl Grey last year, and I absolutely love it. I love this palette so much. It's so good. So good. Best mascara this year is definitely a bougie one, which, you know, I'm sorry about, but I did include a lot of drugstore this year. But this is the Estee Lauder Sumptuous Infinite Daring Length Plus Volume Mascara, which is such a mouthful. But I found this the strangest way. My mom and I were at Ross, and it was on clearance. It was the mascara and a lipstick, and it was like, I don't even remember, it was like $17, and I was like, dang, for Estee Lauder, that's really good, you know, I want to give it a try. I'll be damned if it wasn't the best mascara I've ever tried in my entire life, and it's like 28 something dollars per tube. So of course I only get them when I have like a coupon, or at least I try to, just because I love it so much. It's such a great mascara. It's very different the way the comb is set up. It's like long bristles on one side and then the rest are short, but it like separates everything, and you can do your lower lashes with the small bristles, and then, you know, your upper lashes with the longer one, and it's amazing. I love this mascara so much. Okay, so let's talk about the fact that I just started doing my brows this year. I used to be like very defensive about it, like I don't even need to do my brows, you can't even see them, you know, and people used to get on me like, you should do your brows, you need to do your brows, blah blah blah, but I finally broke down. I don't even know what it was. And I finally just got the Anastasia. This is the brow definer. I've never tried the Brow Wiz. I feel like this one is very easy and like almost like a no-brainer for those of you who are just beginning like I did. And I'm not even that great at it, but just looking at older videos and older pictures, I can tell such a difference. Like, what were you thinking? They're so bare naked. Like, why didn't you do them earlier? But I am really glad that I'm starting to really lose my voice now. I'm really glad that I did start doing them, and thank you to you guys for helping me and doing like constructive criticism, or you know what I mean, words of encouragement for sure. But I am in the color Blonde, and I don't think I'll ever be without this thing. I know there's like more affordable things, but this is just so easy to use because it has like that teardrop shape, you know what I mean, so you can just do it really quick and it's foolproof. And I feel like because maybe I am blonde and it's not like black and you can't really like see where everything is. I don't know, that's maybe just in my mind, but I'm really glad that I just started using this. I have a couple of lip products I want to talk about. Let's start off first with the Sugar by Fresh. This is the Sugar Rose. And you guys will see in the upcoming videos that I literally took my finger in there and like got all of it out because that's how great this is. And I'm so glad because I got two for, well, I bought one myself and then I got one for Christmas. So I have a backup upon backup because these things are expensive for it just being a like chapstick basically, you know what I mean? But I've never put something so velvety on my lips before in my life. It's so nice. I even had a friend tell me that she doesn't even buy lipstick anymore. She just buys these because they come in different tints and things, and they just feel so good on your lips. So I highly recommend the Fresh Sugar Lip Balm. Okay, so I was like sitting there going through my lipstick drawer, which is pretty hefty, and another thing that like really stood out to me this year was definitely the Buxom lip glosses. I have this one which is in Dolly, which is my absolute favorite hands down, and then of course I have the White Russian mini as well. It came in like a little duo, and I would buy this one in a full size over the Dolly one. Like I can almost put this in my empties. Like I don't know if you guys can see this, but it's like almost gone. I am wearing it on my lips today. I pretty much put this on top of everything. I'm wearing like a Maybelline matte lipstick called Mauve It, get it, mauve, Mauve It underneath, but I put this on top of everything because it is just the right amount of like peppermint, almost like plump, you know what I mean? It's not a lip plumper that you think of like painful and like, oh my gosh, it's almost like if you were sucking on a breath mint, you know what I mean? Like you just get that little bit of freshness. It's not anything intense because I am not a fan of lip plumpers at all, but this is amazing. I highly recommend these if you were ever afraid to try it because you're like me and you don't like lip plumpers. This is not like that. This is actually really, really great, and it's just such a pretty shine because I'm not typically a gloss girl, but this I love. I absolutely love this. Okay, two liquid lips that I want to talk about. The first one being from Anastasia. I feel like she is almost my favorite formula, although I wasn't a huge fan of the Heather's color formula. Like, it was pretty bad, but this one is Soft Lilac, and it's my absolute favorite color. I'll give you a little swatch. It's so gorgeous. I've worn this in so many videos. It's just so pretty. It's just that color that's super popular right now, like almost like dusty pink, you know, color. Although I do have a color called Dusty Rose. I love this color, Soft Lilac. It's so pretty. And then the next one is probably the color I have gotten the most compliments on ever. Every single time I wear it, people absolutely lose their minds. So they're like, what is Everlasting Liquid Lipstick, and this is in the color L.U.V, and it's the coolest, like, purple magenta-y color. I know that's not the best swatch, but they're almost a little bit similar, but this one's definitely more vibrant and like purple. And I seriously get the most compliments when I wear this. The other day I wore this, not the other day, like last week, one day when I was doing Vlogmas, I wore this as eyeliner on my eyes, and everybody loved that too. So I don't know, there's just something about this color that everyone absolutely loves, and I know Shauna's probably thinking right now, like, dang it, I still haven't gotten that, because she's the one who like says the first compliment, like, oh my gosh, I love that color. So again, that's Everlasting and L.U.V. Love. My favorite scent for 2016 is definitely my Jimmy Choo Blossom. I just remember getting this sample and thinking, oh my gosh, I need that. I have to have that. And I couldn't find it at Sephora, and I ended up getting it at Ulta, and I'm so glad that I did, because it's just so good. It just smells so good. It's a very, it's a sweeter smell. So definitely recommend this if you can get a sample of it, or if you want to go in stores and spray it. So good if you like your sweeter scents. Let's talk about another spray. I forgot to do this in order, but this is by far the best setting spray, and it is so affordable. It's like $7 for this big old bottle. This is the Mario Badescu facial spray with aloe, herbs, and rose water. You guys have heard me talk about this so many times. This is another one of my all-time favorite things that was in the Christmas giveaway that I did, along with the lotion, but I highly recommend this. If I have friends tell me that they put this in their hair, they put it, you know what I mean, even when they're not wearing makeup, to just like refresh it, just refreshes everything. It's the best scent. It's not like a man-made rose. It literally smells like you walked by like a rose bush, you know what I mean? It's very natural and like real smelling, you know what I mean? It's just, I highly recommend it. I have backups and backups of these too, because they go on sale quite often at Ulta, or you'll get like 5 times the points. I'll buy a couple of them at a time, because again, they're only like $7. It's worth it to get the full size, because the sample size, the deluxe size, is like $5, but for $2 more, you're getting like twice as much product, you know what I mean? So I definitely suggest investing in this bad boy, because it's so good. So I sat there this morning. I needed to do my toes, you know, polish, and I have some of my nail polishes with me, and I have some of them that aren't with me, because you guys know, maybe not all of you do that, we're in transition from our old house, and then looking for another house. So a lot of our stuff is in storage, and I just couldn't put my finger on what my all-time favorite polish color was, you know, for this year. I mean, Honest Silver Platter from Estee is like a huge go-to for me. Go Go Geisha from Estee is like one of my favorites that I found recently. I just got like a smorgasbord of beautiful polishes from Glisten and Glow, and I just couldn't pick one that was colored, and I was like, this is it. This is the one that I know for a fact, like, this is it. But I have to mention HK Girl. You guys are gonna kill me, I'm sure, because I've done a video, I've done Instagram posts, you know, you've heard it on Snapchat, and I'm sure you're sick of hearing it. But for those of you who don't know, like, I change my nail polish more often than most people, probably like 2 or 3 times a week. I'm so active, and you can even tell right now, like, I need to change it really bad. I probably should have before I did this video, but time is of the essence, and I just didn't have it. So anyways, I just change my polish so often, and you know what I mean, I just work with my hands a lot and things like that. But out of any top coat, this is the best I've ever found. It dries your polish in 2 minutes. It makes it last much, much longer. I probably would be changing my polish almost every single day with other top coats, just because that's how bad they used to chip, you know? And I just can't talk this up enough. It's more affordable than your Estee or your OPI. It's just the best, and the owner of the company, you guys know, has like a special little place in my heart. She's just the sweetest thing from you know, heaven sent. She just is. She's just amazing, and she works really, really hard and deserves the business, I think, you know. And so I just wanted to mention this. This definitely stood out to me, and this was something that I finally did this year, was, you know, hearing Nicole from Young Wild and Polished talk about it over and over and over again. I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it finally, and I haven't stopped since. Like, I buy it for friends for like Christmas and, you know, birthdays and stuff like that. It's just so good, so I highly recommend it. And I think that is going to do it for me and my 2016 favorites. Again, I cannot believe that 2017 is here, but I'm so glad it was. 2016 was an absolute roller coaster for me and my family. We had a lot of really great things. We had some not so great things, you know. But I'm really thankful that my family is healthy and happy, and, you know, in this new environment and new place. And, you know, we're here with family, which is amazing too, after being away for so long. I really pray that you guys had an amazing year, and if you didn't, I really do hope and pray that 2017 is even better for you guys. I'm hoping and praying for the same for us. So I love you guys so much. Thank you for making 2016 an amazing year for the Cocco channel. We have grown so much, and I'm so thankful for each and every one of you. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the new year. Bye.
Except for the fact that I broke the sponge tip.